Hi everyone, it's Keyless Entry. Today I'm doing part 5 of my Lockwood Padlock Series, and today we'll be looking into the very last of the 234 evolution, so to speak. So on the last one I featured the 234/45, and let's take a look at it compared to the 234B45. So there we go. So you can see the body's a little bit longer on the 234B45, still 45mm wide, pretty much the same thickness, drainage hole in the same spot. The 234B's got a little hole there in the body for a quick change shackle. I'll show that after. And let's look at the keyways here. So we've got 234/45 there on the left, which had the offset kick inside of the body. You can see on the 234B it's at the 12 o'clock position. Alrighty, so what other differences are there? So probably need to go inside, but we'll start with the outside. So we've got different padlock body types and compositions. So we've got the 234S45. So this one's got a steel body. It's still got the quick change shackle. Actually, they all do. Then we've got the 234C45. So C for closed or concealed shackle. There you go. And then we've got the 234M. So M stands for marine. So this will be used on marine applications. So it's got a stainless steel body and a stainless steel shackle for great corrosion resistance. Another thing that was changed was the keys. So the newer keys, I'll give you one of each here. So you can see the stamping on the key bow is a little bit different. On the older one we've got a little map of Australia there. On the newer one we've just got Lockwood there, and it's more central as well. Both come pinned 5 from factory. So let's tear one of these apart, see what's inside. I'll start with this one. I need my little gutting station here. Let me put that up here. Let's move some of these over. Alright, there we go. So screw down the shackle hole. Oh, actually I might show you how this quick change shackle thing works actually, while we've got this open. So there's a little grub screw in there which takes a 1.5mm Allen wrench. You sort of have to align the shackle just right for that grub screw to come out. There we go. And you also have to have the shackle in the 180 position from open. So we'll get this grub screw out. Should just pop out now. There we go. So that's the grub screw there. And then what you do is turn your shackle. So that's the front of the body there. Turn your shackle to that position, and then you can release the shackle and change it over with a different length or different composition, whatever you like. This was not a feature on the 234/45, so nice upgrade there. All right, let's pull the core out now. Oh, didn't take the screw out yet. I just want to come out. Oh, the ball bearing's in the way. That's okay. Should pop out now. No, still doesn't want to come out. Stubborn little bugger. Alright, so that's that one there. So just take this apart. Okay, let's first compare. So this is a 570 cylinder. I'll just compare it to a 530 that was in the previous model. You can see the 570 is a little bit longer. The Bible is a little bit taller as well. So in the 530 had different size drivers, different height drivers for a balanced stack. In the 570 all the drivers are the same length due to the increased Bible height. The plug on the 530 had these two lugs on the back to interact with the actuator. On the 570 there's a cover plate that does that, so it's sort of separate from the actual plug. You can see the posts that interact with the actuator are also in sort of opposite positions. You can see them on the diagonal on the 570 and the diagonal on the 530. Another cool thing on the 570 is it's got this little restrictor. So it's sort of built into the body with this little bit being cut away and this little bit that sticks out from the tailpiece there. With the 530 you could spin it the whole way around. So another difference there. Alright, this has also got a key retaining feature. This has got that pin there. So you can see the actuator down the body there. So that goes vertically, as you can see. So it'll basically sit in there like that, and then you would turn the key and the actuator would ride along with it instead of springing back. So if usually when that pin's not there, the actuator would go into this position, you open the lock, then it would spring back to here. So this causes, that pin causes for the actuator and the plug to sort of act as one. Okay, let's get this tailpiece off. Oh, this is the adapter, which sits on top, and on the 530 they sit on the side. So this totally covers the Bible. They do have a little hole there for drill protection, which is present in the S and the C. I'm not sure about the M because I haven't taken that one apart as yet. Alright, fine, let's get this tailpiece off and have a look inside there. So being a 570, these padlocks could have all sorts of cores in them, all sorts of restricted cores, including all the Lockwood range, from A to F all the way up to MT5 and a plus, with a whole bunch of other restricted options too. Okay, I'm missing a follower now. There we go. Alright, so from factory they are pinned to 5, this one's pinned to 6. Got this one from a Locky mate, so this one's pinned to 6 on a restricted key, this one's a RBF. Okay, let's dump these pins out. So the pins are still nickel silver, like they were in the previous one, 234/45. I've got master wafers. Okay, didn't know this one had master wafers. First time taking this one apart. So we've got the plug there, as you can see, and we've got a couple of holes there for some more drill protection, which this one does not have. Okay, let's get the drivers out. So these drivers are not brass, like in the 234/45. These are actually nickel silver as well, and are a little bit less tapered, but still tricky to pick. As you can see, they're not balanced. It's not a balanced stack. They're all the same height, the drivers. So yeah, and that's due to that increased height of the Bible chambers. And that's the look of the cylinder there, cylinder housing. Get these springs organised. Oops. There we go. Alrighty. I did want to point out one more little small difference that exists in these padlocks in the 234Bs, and that is a different style of how the actuator spring is seated. And I've noticed there's a bit of a pattern. So you've got two types of shackle composition. You've got your molybdenum and your boron steel. So the boron steel have one type, and the molybdenum have another type of securing the actuator spring, which I found quite interesting. Not sure why they did that. Maybe Lockwood was trying something new, but yeah. Alright, so on the molybdenum one, I'll take everything out. need to show inside of there in a second. So we've got the 2 ball bearings there, shackle spring, and the actuator. So it comes in 3 pieces. You've got the actuator there, and this is the spring, and this is a plate that sits on top like that, with the spring underneath it, and that restricts the rotation of the actuator. And that's the type in the molybdenum. In the boron one, I've got a little bit slightly different setup. Okay. So in the molybdenum one, what we've got is, just bear with me for 1 second. So what actually happens is this plate here, the restrictor plate has a little notch on the very, very top, and the spring actually catches on that notch. So they usually come out sort of in one piece like that, if you're careful, sort of as one unit. And then that would sit in the padlock body like that. Then you've got your sprung tension there. So it just flicks back like that. Alrighty. So on the molybdenum shackle, there's a little cutout, a little milled piece in the padlock body. Just try to show that as best as I can. That little bit in there, which is not present in this one here. So the actuator spring actually gets seated in that little notch there, the top of the spring. Yeah, that little curled bit in there sits right in there. So yes, it's one little small variation, but I thought, you know, I'd put it in because it is variation. All right, just bring these pins up so you can see them a little bit closer. There we go. So you can see we got the nickel silver key pins with a nice tape on them, and also the drivers are nickel silver, all the same height, with a little bit less of a taper than the previous brass ones, but they still give you a bit of trouble. Alrighty, I believe that's it for the 234B 45 and its variants. Sorry. So what I'll be doing next week is talking about the 334 series, which is the current series of the Lockwood 45 mil range, and basically they look pretty much the same. They've just changed the naming from 234 to 334, and I've got Assa Abloy stamped in between the Lockwood and the model number. And it's got a couple of small differences as well with the quick change shackle option. Alrighty guys, that's it for me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.